So if you talk about poverty, there's not one type of poverty. There are many types of poverty. Hence, the many types of Zambalas. There's people who are filled with poverty and great desire, even though they're so poor, even though they're not getting anywhere in life. And they're so lazy, and they just leech off the people around them, and they use people. And they're just total leeches. But their poverty, they have spiritual poverty and material poverty. They can't make any money to benefit anybody. They're always trying to get money. At the same time, they're overwhelmed by sexual desire. Overwhelmed. All they do is they want money, 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 sex, money, sex. A Zambala with consort and red is perfect. Why? Consort of Zambala is his purified sexual aggregate in a form of consort. Showing you, attracting you. Because when you see it in sexual union, I mean, how exciting. Divine and can do something undivine in your negative little mind. Why red represents desire and control. So for people who don't have extreme sexual desire, or they have, but they're not controlled and overwhelmed by it, and they will do everything to their body, speech, and mind, and their environment, and people and friends to sacrifice to get laid. What's Zambala's known? Why? They need a gentle, calming way to destroy their poverty. White Zambala is perfect, without consort. I'm a dragon. Why I'm a dragon? For that person who has no self-confidence. For that person who feels down. For that person who says that I am nobody. And believes that I am nobody. And believes I can't succeed. And I'm a failure. And I'm bad. And I don't want to even take a chance at improving. A white Zambala, I'm a dragon. Which we have that representation. It's very powerful. To give you confidence. To override and overwhelm your poverty energy with prosperity energy. Prosperity in and out and material. And for general people who just need help in destroying the cause of poverty and miserliness and selfishness and self-centered mind, very cause is the self-cherishing mind. So an exact opponent to the self-cherishing mind is an enlightened being. Then the color of that, in this case, is yellow. Yellow representing increase, growth, spirituality, practice, holiness, divine. People who are practicing well, if you do an aura reading of them, you'll see predominantly yellow. Predominantly. This is accepted throughout all culture without even them communicating first. Not by only New Ageists. Even in ancient iconography, yellow. The color of the emperors. The color of holy beings in Tibet. The color of gold. It's internationally accepted. And even in America, they take pictures of the aura, real or not, I don't know, it comes out yellow. So, yellow Zambala represents to help you not only to find material wealth and gain material wealth, to help you find spiritual wealth, not only to find spiritual wealth, to find through elimination of poverty and gathering wealth, your divinity. And that is the significance of holy manifestation of yellow Zambala. It increases your awareness. If you're always falling asleep, if you practice Zambala, you will become awake, alert, quick, your mind will be fast. And then practicing yellow Zambala, in fact, is opposite of what you think. It isn't to acquire more money and wealth and prosperity, and you can have more cars, and you can buy wigs, and you can get laid, you can go out to saunas, you can hang out in cheap, ugly, seedy places. No, actually, with the practice of Zambala, your mind becomes even more giving. A person who's very well practiced in Zambala is one who is able to give easily, without attachment, without motive, and their giving leads you to higher states of mind. Because they bribe you to become better. Like a small child who's errant and who's a brat, you give them a little lollipop, next lollipop, another lollipop, they slowly become calmer and quiet. They gain confidence. So then you talk to them, little Susie shouldn't do like that. And little Susie listens, and then with time, little Susie becomes a wonderful, grown-up individual. So what Zambala does is, yellow represents to increase your mind, to give and give and give, and not be tired of giving. One who doesn't practice Zambala in any way, shape, or form, they're very tight and they're very selfish. And they're to themselves, me. And they will do their best to manipulate and get things for themselves. And lie and twist things around. Whatever they can to get. That's a person who doesn't practice Zambala. Zambala in the definitive form. What's the definitive form of Zambala? The paramita of Buddha. And every single Buddha has a Zambala within them. Because Zambala is definitive or forgiving. Forgiving. Therefore, when you look at the Zambala and pray to Zambala, it is praying to all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and deities, unbeknown to you. All because Zambala also has the other qualities and identifications of the Buddha. And they all share the same qualities and identifications. Like 10 buckets of water being combined into one big pool. It all becomes one and indivisible. And you can't tell which came from what bucket. Buddhas are the same nature. Same. Exact same nature. You have 10 huge spotlights flashing into the center and the lights combine and then you just see an orb of light. Or a medium of light meets. You don't know where from what. It all becomes one. Same Buddha's nature. Therefore, Zambala, you don't think that it's just a wealth god. No, he's a fully enlightened being. Practiced as a disciple under Lord Buddha himself. He is a direct disciple of Buddha Shakyamuni himself, who accompanied Buddha everywhere he went, and practiced and listened to the teachings and did meditations and sadhanas under Lord Buddha. And he is a stocky, short, thick type of being, because there are many types of beings that are extinct, that existed, that even bigger fossils, that are small, that are very big. He's a type of beings that are extinct now, as far as we know, we call yakshas. And what are those? They're stocky, short, thick types of beings. And they were well known to have a lot of wealth. A lot of wealth. So, Zambala was a direct student of Lord Buddha. He traveled everywhere with them, on his entourage. Buddha had thousands and thousands of students all over. And wherever Zambala traveled, he prepared Buddha's place. He cleaned. He served Buddha. He took care of him. If he needed to go someplace, he didn't send Buddha there first to make sure it was safe. He went there first to check it. He opens the door for the Buddha. He doesn't wait for the Buddha to open the door for him. He has awareness. He practices. He has shamatha. He has the 6 paramitas intact. And therefore, through his practice, he became a fully enlightened being. Under Buddha Shakyamuni. Under. So he is a historical being. He is a real being. And he was a student of the Buddha like many thousands of others under the historical Buddha. You can't believe that somebody so great like Shakyamuni only had 1 or 2 students that you know about, that you read in one of these cheap little tired biographies. There are thousands of students out there that had amazing stories and attained amazing states of mind that we don't even know about. Why? They don't have a video cam. I mean, some people went back to their little village and disappeared into enlightenment in the end. Maybe some villages are totally illiterate. All they did was eat corn and get laid. That's it. I mean, it's definitely true. It's definitely logical. So don't just read in one of those Chinese sutras of Buddha had this 8 great bodhisattvas, blah, blah, blah. I don't see anybody else. How ridiculous. You think he spent 40 years of his career teaching 8 bodhisattvas, that's it? I don't think so. Of course he had these beings. So Zambala was one of his students. Very hardworking, meditated, listened. He actually attended Dharma talks and meditated and did his practice and went home and held his vows and did his practice. He wasn't like us. We listen to great teachings, go talk about it, have some, dim sum, and have some meal, a Pepsi and a Coke, go home and jack off and get laid and go to sleep and that's it. I mean, there are people that actually listen to Dharma and practice. I know, surprise to all of you. Really? You mean you actually practice? You mean you actually hold your vows? You mean you actually improve? You mean is that the whole purpose of Dharma? I thought it was to work for a Dharma institution, suck out all you can. Unbeknownst to you, people do practice and get results. Just because we don't and I don't doesn't mean that everybody don't. So if all of us join gymnastics, I don't think we'll be Nadia Kominichi, will we? But there are Nadia Kominichis out there, isn't there? I mean, if we play sports, we play soccer or whatever you want to call it, we're all going to end up as Beckham. But that doesn't mean that there aren't people who achieve that status of great sportsmanship. So I'm sure some of us play golf here, but I don't exactly see your name up there, Koki Woods, right? But it doesn't mean there are not people out there not achieving that. 1 or 2 achieve it, It's achievable. So guess what? When we get Dharma teachings and we get vows and we take refuge, we're supposed to hold our vows of refuge. First and foremost, not stealing, not killing, not lying, not manipulation. I mean, hello, what do you think? You go to Bodhi, sit under a tree and, grab a leaf, and the leaf falls, everybody goes in, grab it, and I'm holy. No, that's not what it's all about. It's about you becoming better. So when you have Zambala as your practice, don't think, oh God, I'm going to get money. STUPID, big time. Zambala is not about money. Zambala is about getting the resources intellectually, emotionally, financially, materialistically, idea, awareness, and increase of all these qualities to be able to be of tremendous benefit to others. That's what Zambala is really about. And therefore, when you practice Zambala and you do it well with the correct motivation, you will become rich. You will see your money increase over the days. You will see it over the years that your financial wealth becomes better and better and better. And people who practice Zambala, a sign of that is what? The definitive Zambala is when they get that wealth, they will just throw it on everybody around them and help, and assist, and give. That is someone who has achieved definitive Zambala. And that is the only way you can practice Zambala and get the result, is to have the mind of enlightenment, the Bodhi mind, or the mind of bodhicitta. Without the mind of bodhicitta, practicing Zambala will be equivalent to just putting water on the statue and collecting a little bit of imprints for the future. Maybe you're born somewhere near, bad houses, and I don't know, Japanese, outdoor water, whatever you soak in it, baths, hot springs. Yeah, it will result in that because he's a Buddha. But the real practice of Zambala is to destroy one's self-centered mind, selfish mind, one's total focus on me, my feelings, what I'm doing, how important I am, what I want. That is the attitude that brings you poverty. Spiritual poverty, spiritual meaning what? Not having any qualities that attract others, and not having qualities that can even bring others to a better path. When you talk, do people laugh at you? Or do they listen? When you talk for years and years and years, do you transform your friends or people around you, or they just look at you and pick their nose and go, yeah? Look at yourselves. If that happens, you don't have the definitive Zambala. And then, emotional wealth. What is that? Stability of the mind. Honor. Awareness. Total awareness of what's happening around you. Very clear. And to react back in positive. To be sharp and quick. That is definitive Zambala. And that is color yellow represents. And during Buddha's time, he had a nasty, ugly, evil cousin named Devadatta, who always plotted to destroy Buddha, to defame him, to embarrass him. He sent beautiful women to Buddha and proclaimed during teachings that, Buddha made love to her and made her pregnant. I mean, he did nasty things like that all the time to defame the Buddha. Well, another one of his plots was to crush the Buddha under a whole bunch of stone that he had piled up through a passageway that he waited very meticulously with another cousin. So when the Buddha and his entourage passed, very simple, you're going to roll all those rocks down and crush the Buddha, unbeknownst to him that a Buddha cannot be killed. He doesn't have the karma to be killed. But never mind. Unbeknownst to him, Buddha has clairvoyance to see what's happening, but he lets him do it. Why? The more obstacles that are thrown in our way and we overcome, the more we show who we are. When an obstacle comes and we run, when difficulties come and we run, and we make excuses and we escape, that shows your mind who you are. Who you really are inside. When difficulties come, you run. You escape, you fight, you say things, you defend. It shows who you are inside. Who you are inside is a person that is only focused on yourself. But the wrong way. The wrong way. So, when he threw all those rocks down, Zambala was on the entourage, he blocked him. With his strength, with his toughness, and his thickness, he blocked, and he broke the stones, and splintered, hit his head, he went unconscious. Lord Buddha, with his miraculous powers, came over from this beautiful golden right hand, healing, holding nectars of wisdom and compassion. compassion and love in the form of water. And when it landed on Zambala's head, Zambala became fresh and woke up. It's just as when we faint, go to our water, ask, oh, thank you, wake up. Same thing, except the water issued from Lord Buddha's hand. From Lord Buddha's hand. So, Zambala immediately woke up, became clear, and he thanked his Lord for waking him up. He had respect for Buddha. And he prostrated. And Buddha gave a command at that time and said to Lord Zambala, from now on, anybody who are my disciples. And when Buddha says my disciples, there are two meanings, inner and outer. My disciple doesn't mean you have to be a Buddhist. My disciple meaning one who wishes to achieve enlightenment, to develop the good qualities of the mind. If they invoke you, you will provide them with the material necessities that they need. So therefore, on that basis of Buddha's speech, you do not have to be a Buddhist to practice Zambala. You do not need to be a confirmed Buddhist at all. He will benefit you if you even have a slight thought of mind of improving yourself. Therefore, on that basis, you do not need to be a Buddhist. That is the history of Lord Zambala and how he came about. In short, historical, yes. Buddha's disciple, yes. The command came from where? Buddha. The tradition of throwing water on his head, offering him a bath, came from where? Buddha. Buddha Shakyamuni himself, not from the crazy Tibetans. Not from those sky burial people in Tibet. From the holy being himself. Therefore, now we have the wonderful practice of doing his sadhana, his mantra, and his meditation, where when we pour water on his head and we have the correct motive, and we have the correct aspirations, and we have the correct type of thinking, are both believers. It depends on what type of wealth you want. For spiritual aspirants, it's very rare they pray to Zambala for actually material wealth. That's why spiritual aspirants go leaps and bounds. But having said that, although they don't want material benefits, they get a lot of material benefits. A lot of material benefits get thrown their way. Why? Because with their kindness, their good motivation, their hard work, they inspire people to help. Sometimes we work very hard at helping ourselves and we still can't get it, we still struggle. But when we don't think about ourselves anymore, help comes. When we let go. Let go of what? Me. Things come. And even if you're not a Buddhist, you know that's true. It makes total sense. Who wants to be around a selfish, self-centered, self-ingratiated person who makes up excuses for all his or her failures and lies and broken promises? Who finds that attractive after a while, no matter how beautiful the face is? Who? No one. In fact, the most spiritual people of the world are physically very unattractive, if you think about it. With due respect, I don't think Desmond Tutu is exactly, Mr. Handsome himself, but I think he's a beautiful, wonderful person that I would love to hug and prostrate to and offer things to. Why? His beauty transcends. He is compassionate. He works for others. He's outspoken for the truth. He has faith in God, and he manifests that in his selflessness toward others, in traveling, in lecturing, in teaching, working for peace for his country. That's very beautiful. Whereas you have this, wonderful supermodel. Okay, yes, next. Like eat a little bit. A few years later, and then and you find out they're ugly or they're a dingbat. Wow. Everybody wants to be around them, but just to have boogly and seal it. There's no substance there, and it's lost and it's gone very easily. Whereas beauty that is encompassed that comes from the qualities we have developed, such as Desmond Tutu. Example is timeless, and it goes over everything. And if we put our energy toward developing that, we bring honor to our family, we bring happiness to ourselves, and you know what happens? We bring happiness to everyone around us. And you know what else happens? We're able to influence and change other people's lives without even trying. And we're able to benefit them. And then people around us move up, not down. Everybody around us, even the most disgusting people, become undisgusted and they move up. And then people who are more advanced can use many methods to cut their ego out. We can use peaceful methods, we can use bribery methods, we can shout at them, we can scream, we can be nasty, we can be evil, we can do anything we want to those type of people. Why? They already realize who you are and what your methods are. Very simple. So when we practice Zambala, it has that kind of significance. So Zambala's practice is very subtle because it cuts your poverty out of 3 levels: secret, inner, and outer.